welcome to another edition of Talk of the Town. Today I am very pleased to introduce a local author to you. Brenda Whittaker is here, and Brenda has just written a book called The Ark of God. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you here. As I was telling you, I'm about halfway through the book. It's a really good read so far, and I'm looking forward to getting to the end and see exactly what happens. But this is your first book, right?
Yes, this is the first one.
Yeah, well, you've done really good. Way to go.
Thank you very much.
It's a very good first book. A really interesting story that keeps you kind of wanting to turn the page and keep reading for sure. Where do you get an idea to write a book?
Where did I get the idea?
Yeah. Like, have you always wanted to write?
No, actually I didn't. But as a child, that was one of my passions.
Okay.
I loved writing. I loved telling stories. And as I was growing up on the farm, that was a lot of what I did. And actually, I remember in public school when we had our graduation, our teacher there had given each one of us like a little plaque that said the world's greatest whatever.
Okay, and everyone had a different thing that they were good at.
And mine was the world's greatest author.
Oh, how cool is that?
and that I thought, wow, that's pretty cool,
yeah.
But I never pursued that.
Right.
I didn't pursue it. I had gotten, when I went to high school, I had decided I wanted to become a missionary.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, I decided, okay, what do I do? Because someone said to me, well, if you go to be a missionary, you should have a job of some sort, a vocation of some sort.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bring to the mission field. So I decided then, you know what, I think I'll be a nurse. And before that, never thought of being a nurse.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I pursued nursing. And I did that. So I graduated in 1986, and I did that for, probably, till at least 2002.
Oh, wow. So you had a good career in that.
Yeah, and then in 1999, I was a flight nurse at that time, an emergency flight nurse.
Okay.
Up in Thompson, Manitoba. And I ended up having an accident on one of my flights.
Oh.
Nothing really terrible that made the news or anything,
right.
But just really bad turbulence. I didn't have my seatbelt on. Our plane hit a wind shear, which is where the plane hits a wind front that comes this way, hits it, and the plane starts to drop. And I didn't have my seatbelt on, so you can imagine what happened. Yeah. So I ended up hurting myself, and from there, I had to quit flight nursing. I tried to pursue nursing by working in a doctor's office, and after a while, I could no longer do that.
Oh, wow.
And then from then, I was told, because I was having a lot of pain, I was told, well, you have fibromyalgia.
Oh, boy.
And that took me quite a few years. It got really bad. I was off work totally for at least 8 years.
Wow.
And in 2008, when I actually started writing this, I was starting to try to get back into the workforce.
Okay. As a nurse or just...
No, because at that time, because I hadn't kept up my nursing, I wasn't able to keep up my license.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you were just looking for any different work that you felt you could do?
Yes, but I did continue to look in the medical field because my idea was still that I want to get back into nursing.
Right,
I want to get back. But I was just really at a bad place in life with the pain, dealing with the pain, with struggling to get back to work again. Yeah. So I started out by working in a nursing home.
Okay.
And just working as a healthcare aide. And I worked as just very casually.
Right.
And it just really wasn't going all that well for me. But around the same time, that was in 2008, I started to get this just story in my head. Stories started to come back to me, which is what happened when I was a child. I'd have a very vivid imagination, so I would get these stories in my head. Well, this one started coming into my head, and it just started building and building and building. Wow. And I was like, what is this? One day I actually asked myself, what is this? Why is this story building and why is it coming together? And then it was like, there was times I was thinking about it, and then I would think about the plot again, and then a twist would happen, and I'd be like, oh, that would be so good. And I started writing this down. I only started writing it down, however, after prayer, because prayer, well, obviously I believe in God, and he was really helping me out too during this really tough time in my life. And when this story started coming, I was like, you know, also searching and going, what do I do? What do you want me to do? And so when this story started coming, I was going like, do you want me to write this story? And I was getting an affirmative in my mind. Yes, I want you to write this story. And I thought, okay, fine, I'll start writing this story.
Might as well write it, right?
So I did. I started writing it, and it was just scribbles on a page at first, and then I would just keep going with it. And then one day, you know, I was getting quite, you know, this is quite good, and I thought I'll start reading it to my husband. And I started reading it to him, and he got excited about it. And then he said to me, Brenda, you should get this published. And I was like, not.
Kind of seems like a far-fetched idea, right?
Right, and because at that point I'm like, John, no one's going to want to.
This is just something that came into my head.
Yes, exactly. No one's going to want to read this.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Brenda, I believe they will. So anyway, I kept writing it. He kept getting excited about it. He kept, you know, he would ask me, okay, have you done the next chapter yet? Can you read it to me? You know. And so anyway, eventually it was written, but at the same time, I was always still had in mind, I have to get back to my career as a nurse.
Okay, that was still in the back of your mind.
So which is why when people say to me, 2008, Brenda, this is 2016. And I'm like, yes, 8 years ago. Yeah. Well, this is why it took me so long.
For sure, yeah.
was why, because I didn't have quite in my head that anybody would want to read it. Okay. I was scared of getting it published. There was also that fear, and then there was also, I wanted still to pursue my career as in the medical profession.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but eventually you decided, I think with John's help probably, your husband.
With my husband's help, John, and other friends that really encouraged me.
You realized that you really had something here.
Yeah, well, when they heard about it, they said, you know, because I was also still praying about it too, and I was asking God, okay, do you want me to publish this? And I was believing that, okay, yes, but there was still that fear of failure. There was that fear of, you know what if people don't like it, or I looked at myself as that I had failed in my nursing career, even though I had not.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Because I had hurt myself. But to me, it was like a failure. And so when this came about, it was like the fear of failure was still pretty strong.
Right.
You know, and so it took my husband's encouragement, it took friends' encouragement, it took a lot of prayer, and it was like, okay, well, let's do this. And anyway, this year we decided to do it.
And you just jumped right in, and do you want to hold the book up so that everyone can see the cover? Yeah. It's called The Ark of God, and it's a fascinating book. Can you tell us a little bit why it's called The Ark of God? There's been a bit of confusion, I think, over the title Ark of God. Yeah,
the confusion comes from the way I spelt Ark.
Right.
Which is A-R-C, meaning basically the part of a circumference, or, you know, if you think of a rainbow, that would be considered an arc.
Curve, right?
And other people have come to me and said, Brenda, Ark of God is not spelled A-R-C, it's spelled A-R-K, meaning the actual Ark of God that held the 10 Commandments in it. And so to them, I've had to say, no, I have spelt it right.
This is the way I want it.
and part of the book is there is an analogy in here between the ARC Ark of God and the ARK Ark of God. And that's part of the mystery of the book. Going on about the ARC Ark of God, in my book, the Ark of God is actually a hidden deposit of gold in the mountains of a place called Gardner Pass, which is the location of the book. And this Gardner Pass is a town that was built on as an old mining town. Their mining of gold, however, was short-lived. It never became the mother lode. But there had become a legend that before they stopped looking for gold there, the mining town pulled out of the town, mining company pulled out of the town. They had, there was the legend that there was a miner that was found that came and told people that he had been mining deep under the mountains of Gardner Pass, and he had found this deposit of gold, which he ended up calling the Ark of God.
So there you have it. How can people get this book?
People can get this book through either Amazon.ca or Amazon.com. It's also for sale at Hender's Drugs. It's also for sale at PharmaSafe.
Oh, great. So locally, Hender's or PharmaSafe. And of course, online, if you're more into digital books, you can get it through the Kindle app as well.
That's right.
You can read it on your Kindle or get the Kindle app if you've got another type of tablet. That's the way I'm reading it, and enjoying it very much. So everyone can get a copy of this book. Brenda Whittaker is the author. And get the book, because I know you're going to enjoy it. It really is a good book. And that's about all the time we have. Thank you so much for coming and talking about this book. I wish you all the success in the world with it, and looking forward to another book as well. Just in case you might want to write one, I would like to read it.
Yep, there is actually a sequel to this one.
Excellent. Okay, up next we are heading to the town of Lampman. Stay tuned.